Real quick, stand up. The movie version of Special Forces is blasting in a door like this, but it's done very differently here in Afghanistan. It's called a soft knock, where a conversation is held with the occupants and then Special Forces enter. Right now, they're inside here looking for weapons. Intelligence says that this is a weapons cache, and they're going to have a pretty thorough look.
Papers in this.
Papers?
Yes, yes, yes.
And originally a box like that would have raised a lot of suspicions of you.
Right.
Munitions box, but he does have, as he says.
Judge's papers.
It's all paperwork in there, no weapons. That's saying that you're a judge? You're a lawyer?
Your deed.
Yes, the deed to the house. I mean, this isn't anything new. See it all the time. It's what we call green on green. You know, maybe somebody doesn't like him for whatever reason. He has maybe a dispute with another tribe or another family, and so someone from that other family has called and said, hey, here's an abandoned place, or here's a place where there's weapons being stored. And so we come down here, and this is what it is. Right as soon as we showed up, and the gentleman's home, and he's saying, hey, go ahead and look through my house. You can pretty much almost bet, 99%, there's going to be nothing here. And that was just something, somebody didn't like him and maybe pointed us in this direction.
But if you had come and blown open the front door and come in here with guns blazing, you would have made some real enemies. You did what you call a soft knock
right,
instead.
We did a soft knock. Because a hard knock, like you said, if we came in here in the middle of the night, blew his door down, came into the middle of the compound here, disrupted him and his family, we wouldn't be making any friends, that's for sure. But we came here, we asked him, knocked on his door, talked to him respectfully. Hey, can I search your compound? And as you saw, they were more than willing to let us look around. One other thing we've done is we've allowed them, cultural sensitivity. We've allowed them to take, the women, and they're in one section of the compound right now, because in their culture you don't have an outside male see their women. While this may be annoying to them, we're not creating any enemies. We're showing them the respect they deserve. It is their country, it is their house. We do have a woman here with us with EOD who is searching the areas where the women are right now.
This is Crystal Timmer. She's a student at the University of Maryland. She's also a corporal in the Army and an explosives expert.
If we're looking for, we know something's there, we've got to find it, then it's a search. You have to, hands-on, feel down their legs, feel down their arms, make sure they're not hiding anything. But when you saw it, there might be something here, let's just, we don't want to disturb them, so the women, I just had them walk by, make sure they weren't, you can tell if someone's got, a mortar in their outfit. Can you stop her? Ask what she's got in her arm. They feel a lot safer knowing that there's a woman watching them than a man, because it's kind of intruding for a man to go in there.
With no weapons found, the Special Forces now move into the next phase of a soft knock raid, what they call non-kinetic exploitation. It's another way to win hearts and minds. Sometimes they'll hand out power bars or medical supplies. Today, they hand out newspapers.
Remember you. What was your name? Bella. Okay.
And what kind of feeling do you get being around the kids?
Well, the kids are just curious. They foreign people coming around. It's better to, associate with them, and they get a kick out of it. You can be speaking a completely different language, but you start laughing, they'll start laughing back.
That one?
Very good. Thank you.
A really successful soft knock ends like this, winning a few hearts and minds. It's the Special Forces' newest mission on the war against terror. And Santa hands out the favorite new form of non-kinetic exploitation, shortwave radios. 90% of villagers get their information from their elders. The radio is a new window into the outside world and part of a coalition information campaign. Great for getting in Voice of America or your favorite Kabul prayer station. While Special Forces continues with their soft knock approach, the 82nd Airborne has a more conventional job to do. They also suggest that I put on body armor. The 82nd's nighttime mission: take members of the new National Army on their first mission to set up a checkpoint in the heart of a known Taliban staging area.
Intel's put out that there's a whole bunch of possible ACM that have come up into the Muhammad Agar area, close to where we were ambushed last time we were down here. Okay, approximately 20 guys, intentions unknown, but we're gonna go up there and let them know what our intentions are. We're gonna do this by conducting a TCP with the A&A here. We're going to search for weapons, mines, bomb-making equipment, and at the same time create a U.S. presence. I'm the convoy commander, also the operational commander for right now. If for some reason anything happens with a troop of contact and I am disabled, the second in charge will be Sergeant Galloway. Sergeant Galloway, where you at? Right here, sir. Oh, you'll be second in charge, okay?
Roger that, sir.
Ground pounders, take charge, and we secure the area. All right, any questions? Oh.
They're expecting a firefight tonight. It's happened here before.
We had intel stating that ACM forces were attacking and robbing cargo vehicles as they were coming south from Kabul into Gardez. We went up, scouted the area, checked it out. On a return trip is when we got hit. This is a okay spot for him to do his checkpoint, or his traffic control point.
They set up a traffic checkpoint. Things could get nasty at any point.
This is Asher Kula. He's a member of the Afghan National Army. He's out here with the 82nd Airborne this evening. New intelligence has been developed. 20 members of an insurgent cell are here in town. They've already struck the 82nd Airborne with rocket-propelled grenades, AK-47s, and improvised explosive devices. The Afghan National Army hopes tonight, with the 82nd Airborne, to send these terrorists a message that they're ready to fight.
The Afghans are looking for light arms, suspicious papers, anything that might indicate a possible tie to the insurgency. Any of these trucks could contain a stash of rockets or improvised explosive devices, IEDs, smuggled over the mountain passes 100 miles to the south of here. Tensions stay high, but so far it's routine. It seems the Special Forces aren't the only ones in on the shortwave radio promotion. Never mind that just a few moments ago, this soldier had to wonder whether this young truck driver was going to blow them both up. He spent the past 25 minutes here, inconvenienced by a U.S. and Afghan National Army checkpoint. All that matters is that he's not a suicide bomber. Back in Gardez, the Special Forces team is moving on to another village. This walled town is home to one of the most notorious characters in all of Afghanistan. In the past, Special Forces might have met him after driving a few tanks through his front wall. Now they dial him on his cell phone and invite him in for a chat. Think of it as the soft knock's even softer cousin, the ringtone.
The guy we're visiting here today, Jelani, basically, you could say he's been on Afghan's most wanted list. In the past, probably about 6 months ago, if we'd have known where he was, if anybody would have known where he was, he'd have been apprehended, arrested, or any other dead or alive kind of thing.
Wanted dead or alive.
Right.
And that's because he was allegedly, not proven, but allegedly, Taliban and Al-Qaeda?
Take your pick, one or the other.
Jelani was invited home with the hope that he would be part of the new democracy here.
Right.
What kind of tactics do you use once you think they're on your side, again, with the allegiances going back and forth historically in Afghanistan?
I'll tell you, a lot of it just simply comes down to courtesy and respect. You show the man courtesy and respect. And I said, we're just trying to keep him on the side of the Afghan government. Whether he likes the United States or not, hey, that's his own politics.
What do you want to learn from him today? You're out here to meet him, come a long way at some risk to get here. What's your objective?
We're going to make sure that
Still on our side?
that he's still on our side. Let him know that that we're thinking about him, that we got an eye on him, and that everything's going all right. I'm going to ask him about the upcoming elections and everything else.
Assalamu alaikum.
This is a new tactic, a face-to-face meeting with special forces and a former Taliban.
Right. This is Assalamu alaikum.
As is customary at this kind of meeting in Afghanistan, Jelani has brought along members of his family. This is Jelani. He starts by talking about past tribal conflicts and grudges.
You've had 30 years of war, and now it's time for peace. You're home in Afghanistan now, and why did you come back? But now is America? Does he see America as his enemy? Today, where he came from, right when we showed up, was he was in an election meeting here in town. So, and then that's where he's gone back to. They're working the process. Democratic Afghanistan. Does he support it? Yeah. Does he have a message for others out there who are like him, are not right now, they're not living at home? His message was, hey, come home, come back to Afghanistan and take part in rebuilding your country.
Will Jelani keep his word? Will he take part in the new Afghan government? And more importantly, will he make peace with other tribes in his area? Special Forces walks quietly, smiles often, and carries a big stick.
Be aware of objects on the road. Cars, potholes, objects, fresh asphalt, and trash. We need to communicate within this convoy to each other. Any type of signs, indicators, IEDs, or ambush sites.
The 82nd is headed toward the Pakistan border. The insurgents, or ACM, use the mountain passes to strike at coalition forces and to smuggle weapons into the country. This is also the reported hideout of Osama bin Laden. We're at more than 10,000 feet here, which makes breathing difficult.
These are the high mountains of Afghanistan. It's through here that insurgents can bring explosives, weapons, rocket-propelled grenades, and it's an area that U.S. troops have to patrol to be able to get at these insurgents to prevent them from attacking either U.S. forces or to attack the Afghan National Forces, which are all along this road below us here.
The 82nd is a constant target when patrolling in these mountains, as you're about to see from this exclusive combat camera footage from a recent reconnaissance mission.
About 30 seconds ago, we're receiving rocket attacks right